Bay. This is Giants baseball. Told straight. You're listening to NorCal Sports Network. No homers, no casuals. Just truth. Let's go!
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Football season is over. That was one of the worst Super Bowls I think I've watched. How many punts were there? My goodness, 15 punts or something like that. It's time for Giants baseball now. We're getting into the baseball season. Football's behind us. You want to go listen to more football? Go ahead. It'll be on every day until football season starts. But we're talking baseball here at NorCal Sports Network. Welcome, everybody. Aaron says Dodgers, Padres, Giants, Seahawks, Rams, Niners in that order. Pretty much, yeah. Niners in third, Giants in third, and I think it's going to be that way for a while. Seattle looks really good, and don't see the Niners with their lack of speed catching the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to do a mock draft tonight. Yeah, let's do a mock draft tonight. Yeah, let's get ready for football. Mock draft. All right. Now, let's let the season begin, as Senior says. Dallas will be here shortly, guys. He was watching the Super Bowl with, I think, over at his parents' house. He's got about a 20-minute drive after the game, so he'll be popping in here at some point shortly. But maybe we'll open it up tonight, guys. We'll talk a little Giants baseball. Tomorrow's Monday, and then pitchers and catchers report Tuesday, and we'll see how that goes. I normally go to that particular practice. Let me think. I think the official practice when everybody opens up. Let me just double check here. I'm going to check my Google. So I'm going to, instead of typing it, I'm going to do a voice. MLB training camp opening dates. 2026. All right. Let me do a little search here. I think the Giants open up on Friday, each team's first workout date. Giants, Sunday, the 15th. Wow. Now, there'll be guys there earlier, so I'll probably head down there toward the middle to the end of the week, and get some video of what's going on in camp and stuff like that. And then first game, I believe, is on the 20th or 21st for the Giants. Let me take a peek at that schedule. And I know they're playing Seattle right down the street from me on Saturday, on the 21st. So, yeah, that's the first game, Saturday the 21st, literally in my backyard. Yeah, I would definitely agree, Jonah. No doubt about it, the World Series was greater than the Super Bowl. Not even close. Drama galore in the World Series. Much more entertaining, man. Football, it's a great sport and everything, but to me, baseball's the purest sport out there. It's America's pastime. And I think more people should, baseball is going to be the stupidest group of executives and players association if they don't settle. If they lock out and they lose the momentum that they built. Imagine the NBA looks to me like it's fading. The WNBA, who gives a crap? That's the biggest joke I've ever seen. Bunch of bricklayers out there. I don't know who watches the NBA or the WNBA and actually thinks that's entertaining, but I mean, I'd rather watch paint dry like the Super Bowl tonight, man. That was like watching paint dry, but I'd waste 3-4 hours of my time watching a boring Super Bowl than before I ever watched a group of bricklayers with getting off the ground about that much. I got 2 hip surgeries and I could probably jump higher than most of those girls. Terrible aesthetics watching that, but anyway, that's me. I guess everybody's, that's what makes America great, right? There's something for everybody. Yes, Los D, go Sharks. That now to me, Sharks, hockey and baseball, the 2 best officiated sports. Now you've got, different strike zones, and that's going to be somewhat corrected this year with the challenge system, but you'll still have bad calls. But for the most part, baseball gets it right. Football and NBA, all subjective, right? I mean, hockey's somewhat subjective too, but they do a great job, in my opinion, with the officiating. They now have 2 referees that can call penalties. If you remember years ago, it used to be 3. Hockey's changed their game to make it a very entertaining game. The overtime game is great. No more ties. It's, you go the overtime 3-on-3, generally, there's open, just crazy. Then you got the shootout after that if there's nobody that scores in the short overtime period. And then, it just is great, right? And you get good calls. And in football, everything's so subjective. Like, tonight, Walker runs it in for a touchdown on a 50, 60 yard. It was holding. I will say that. The center was holding. But how many plays have we seen the same exact hold where it does not get called, right? It just gets overlooked, or a block in the back gets called and then a block in the back doesn't get called. A PI gets called, a PI doesn't get called. I think NFL has a huge problem on its hands with crappy officials. Yes, now women's softball, some people think I'm just against women's sports. I like watching women's softball. I think women's college softball is actually pretty good. And, there's action and there's athleticism, and, I can watch college women's hockey. I mean, not hockey, but softball. And hey, women's hockey. I saw a play the other day on women's hockey. A girl, I can't remember what college it was, but she scooped the puck up into the air, past the defender, and then batted it down before it hit the ice to herself, and then passed it like on a 2-on-1 break. If anybody saw that, that was a tremendous hockey play. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, exactly, Senior. This is what I've been saying. Lower the hoop to 8.5 feet in the WNBA. Let's see some dunks. Let's see some women playing above the rim. I mean, you know what? I like basketball. I love basketball. But you know what? I got, my kids, and I got grandkids. Would I go out and watch a little basketball game of 6, 7-year-olds? Of course I would. But, you know what it is. It's just that, to me, is similar to the WNBA, because you're going to make some shots, but there's nothing happening above the rim, not even close. Yes, just ban the WNBA, please. Yeah, just ban it. It's a joke. Let's see what else we got in the chat. Women's NHL. Now, at least we might see some checking, right? And some nice blast. That would be good. Women's hockey's not bad for college. Let's see what else we got in the chat. Well, let me open up the let me open up the chat. Anybody wants to hop in and let me do that. Okay, one sec here. All right, I'm going to put the link in. If anybody wants to hop in and join the show, feel free to do so. That would be fantastic. I think I hear Dallas, but I've got to do a little business first before I get. I'm on another screen here, so let me go to that page, and then I'll come back. And I think I hear Dallas eating some chips in the green room. I'm not watching right now, but I've got to get that taken care of. Thanks to my wife telling me something there. There we go. All right. And it is Dallas in the green room. And we welcome Dallas in. We're talking
Howdy.
Baseball here to the richest man tonight. Look at that. Look at that. Spring training. Hey, I think Dallas may have be the richest man today in anybody watching. It's a Sunday. Most people don't work on Sundays. But Dallas, tell us how much you made today.
I made $3,600.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Tell us
pretty good payday.
Tell us about the pool, not the pole, but the pool that you were in and how you won it. And
so it was an all season long thing. So there's 108 people that put in $100 at the beginning of the year, and it's a survivor pool. So you pick who's going to win each week, and I've made it all the way through to the end. And in the playoffs, it resets, so you get to pick your teams again. I've saved myself the Seahawks, throughout the playoffs. I wanted to give myself a pick the last week. And so for the game today, if the Patriots had won, then it would have been an 8-way tie. And because the Seahawks won, it was a 3-way tie. So we split the plot 3 ways. But not too shabby.
Not too bad, Dallas. Congrats, man. That's killing it, man. I think you probably felt pretty good most of the game, but you had to be feeling pretty good when it was 15-0 or something like that. Or?
Yeah, I mean, at 9-0, I still didn't feel too confident because they were playing so conservatively. They were
right.
They'd run the ball twice, third down, and then they just run the ball on third down. They weren't trying to get it first down. They were just trying to not make a mistake. And usually that's a recipe to lose, but the defense played so well for Seattle. They just forced so many mistakes. Eventually, the Patriots, they had that one drive, but then they ended up turning the ball over and screwing up, and the Seahawks held on and got the win.
Well, there you go. And you never look at and say, it seems like no one ever repeats because there's always a Super Bowl hangover, a World Series hangover or something. But this team is so young and athletic. The Niners have a long way to go to catch these guys.
That was what thought that was in my head at the end of the game. Towards the end of the game's pretty much over. It doesn't matter. But I'm thinking, how are the Niners going to beat this team? And it was,
exactly.
It's like they need an offensive line. They need a big offensive line if they're going to be able to stop those guys, because they were just running the O-line over for the Patriots and getting to the quarterback unassisted. Just one guy is able to. They would just push the offensive lineman into the quarterback and then tackle them both. It was quite a performance by Seattle there. So
if we can get the chat up to 720 tonight, 720, that's we will get.
Aaron, can you put the 3,600 towards the closer?
Well, I kind of like Senior's idea too. $3,600 divided by 5 will get you $725 tickets. So Dallas is going to be buying section the 415 section. NorCal Sports Network will be out there yelling. We won't be yelling at Jung Hoo. Are they going to change that now to the are the hooligans going to have to go play over the tin can in right field, the right
Yeah,
field?
they're going to have to move those guys. The Jung Hoo crew.
Yes. So, hey guys, we do have some thoughts here. Come on, join in. We've got the link. If you want to pop in, you're welcome to. Tell us your favorite Giants moment. What does spring training mean to you? And you could say, remember the old Saturday Night Live? Baseball been very, very good to me. It was what was that guy's name? Garrett. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting his name. But he was pretending he was one of the Dominican guys. And baseball been very, very good to me. So anyway, yes, Morris.
Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris. That's it. Yes. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, it was pretty funny. That was I used to enjoy those old Saturday Night Live guys, Chevy Chase and Steve Martin and all the Saturday Night Live, man. That was hilarious. But baseball is here, and we called it. What do we name the title tonight? Hope Springs Eternal, talking Giants baseball. Hey, everybody is 0-0. There's anything can happen in sports, right? Baseball is a game that, generally speaking, 162 will separate the contenders from the pretenders. And I think the Giants are going to hang in there. I do think they're going to hang in there most of the season in contention for a playoff berth, just because. Any hats on the floor tonight? Oh, Arizona keeps falling, so it's that blank spot right there. I look down, there it is. We can see the hat right there, along with Buster over in the corner. He's always pretty close to where I'm at, which is just a hand away. But anyway, we are as I look at this National League, let me see if I can zoom out here. And there we go. The National League, I expect the Braves to move up this year. They'll be much more. I think they'll be fighting for a division crown. The Mets are going to be there. The Phillies are going to be there. We can expect the Brewers and the Cubs to be there. Maybe the Pirates move up a little bit from last place. I expect St. Louis to fall into last. And I think the Pirates and Reds fight it out for third. And then, of course, you got, the Giants possibly could be the second best team in the West this year. There really isn't that much separating the Padres and the Giants, in my opinion. Hey, what happened to you? Wait a minute. Where did you go? How did you leave?
You moved me.
I did? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking there, and I go, where'd Dallas go? All right, well, let's see if we can get. You look taller than me. I'll move my camera. See how? Look, I can change my height. Look, I'm in the WNBA. Now I'm in the NBA. There we go. All right. So let's get to the super chat. We got a super chat here from. Let's see how to pronounce that. Louis what is that? Lou Vifali says, how are the Giants now compared to the end of last year? Been out of the loop. What's new and what's good? Thank you for the super chat. I think the Giants are a little better right now than they were at the end of the last year because they have a more consistent lineup that they can put out there. They've got a good infield lineup. With the addition of Bader, they're better defensively up in center field. They move Jung-Hoo to right. That makes the outfield better, just that. And I think Ramos will have a little bit better chance of, communicating with Bader. I think Bader will, Jung-Hoo Lee, you're just listening a lot to sounds, versus English. Jung-Hoo doesn't speak a lot of English. So, and Bader's...
He knows how to say, I got it.
Yeah, I think so. Bader's gets better jumps on the ball and gets to more balls, so I think that'll help. So I think they're better there.
Much better fielder. So they've improved the defense in center and in right because they moved Jung-Hoo Lee to right.
Yeah.
Consistency-wise, right field last year, they had Yaz half the year, and then it was just an empty hole the second half. So that's an improvement. But these are all, kind of small incremental improvements. Second base, Arraez is a good hitter, so they've added somebody that can hit for average to the lineup, which is a good addition. Defensively, second base takes a step backward off of Casey Schmidt. So there's that. And then the pitching staff. By the end of the last season, their pitching staff was banged up. They could barely field, 5 starters in the rotation. And now they've added Malley and Hauser, who, the injury prone a little bit, some question marks there, but they pitched well last year. If they can stay healthy and continue from what they did last year, then the rotation is moderately improved. So no splashy moves this offseason. They didn't even hold a press conference other than when they signed the manager. It wasn't like anything was moving the needle enough to have to, assemble everybody and make a big presentation. But so the team is, I don't know, 15% better than it was, 10% better than it was at the end of last year.
Yeah, I think they're a better club. I think the pitching staff's a little bit better on the starting side. The bullpen, that's going to be the weak point right now. I did see a show the other night. I was watching Jim Riley. He ranked every major league pitching, starting pitching staff, and he gave the Giants a surprising B-. He was a little higher on the Giants because of Webb and Ray, and he thought Malley and Hauser were good additions if they stay healthy. Pretty good show.
Robert Rothberg is back. Dallas, please agree with my prediction. The Giants will be the team to beat. They will be a team to beat. Teams will have to beat them, So I don't think anybody is marking the Giants on their calendar saying this is the team that they're worried about. Robert, have you been gone all off season? I haven't seen you in a while. Is it now that football's over, you're back and
he just woke up? He was hibernating. It's Robert hibernates, and so he just the shell broke and he popped out and he's now alive again. He's going to join us, and we'll be here for you, Robert, every day for the regular season.
It's good. I am the positivity. I love it.
I'm looking for this question. I looked Mr. Cat Karen. I don't know what your question is. I'm trying to find it through the chat, so I didn't see it. So you'll have to ask me again, and then I'll try to answer it. Ben says, Robert first says, thank you. Welcome. Good to have you back, Robert. You're in the right place. Hey, you guys like the intro tonight? Did you guys hear the intro? You want to hear it again? Tell me what you think of this intro. I want to get your thoughts. Tell me what you think of this new intro.
From the Bay. This is Giants baseball. Told straight. You're listening to NorCal Sports Network. No homers, no casuals. Just truth.
catchy.
All right, what do you guys think of that? What do you think of that intro? Just playing around with some new stuff. Dan, is spring training tickets expensive? It depends. Some ballparks, Scottsdale, one of the more expensive because it's Scottsdale. It's the uppity. The Giants are San Francisco, right? They're uppity. I mean, they are probably as high a tickets even as the Dodgers are. And the Dodgers can get a premium because everybody wants to see the Dodgers. But it's the Giants are in Scottsdale, and they're Old Town Scottsdale, and they can charge a pretty good penny. Now, if you go out to the outskirts of like Surprise, where the Royals and the Rangers, or a little bit better ticket prices for teams like that, Peoria, which they give a discount for Peoria residents. I still have my old driver's license when I lived in Peoria, so I just show that for maybe get a big 25% discount. But, they could be $30, or you can find them and you can get in for less than $10 at some places. So, but Scottsdale, for the most part, fairly expensive. So I like to go to the Giants games on the west side because I'm a good 45 minutes to close to an hour from Scottsdale. Whereas when they come over to the west side, I am within 20 minutes of 3 stadiums. And that's 6 teams. So, because they share. The Dodgers share with the White Sox in Glendale, in Peoria, the Padres, and the Mariners share. And then in Surprise, it's the Rangers and the Royals. So, and the Giants pretty much visit each team. So they'll go to Surprise twice. They'll go to Glendale twice. They'll go to Peoria twice. So that's 6 games I can attend within about 15, 20 minutes of my house. And Mark Graves, he's got the Reds and the Cleveland Guardians in his backyard. We'll go to a game down there. That's a little further, but still west side for me, about 30 minutes. There's just, you got to come down. And on the east side, you've got the Cubs have their own stadium. They don't share with anybody in Mesa. The Giants have their own stadium in Scottsdale. Just a little bit from the Giants is the Diamondbacks, and they share with the Rockies. And what else you got over there on the east side? You've got the A's, which play in Mesa, which they took the Cubs' old ballpark. My favorite ballpark is probably, besides the Giants, I really think the Giants have a beautiful ballpark. But I like 2 parks. I like where the Diamondbacks play. That's a beautiful park, Salt River. And I like Surprise, where the Royals and the why did I draw a blank? I've already said it a few times. Royals and Rangers. That's a nice stadium. Angels in Tempe, that's not bad. It's not bad. It's the amenities. It's not the greatest, but for me at least, the newer ballparks are pretty cool. 909. Okay. Gotcha.
I'll be right back, guys.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see. If closer Walker be like 24, then the Giants could be contenders. I think so, Ben. I think if Walker's key, if he can shut down games and the Giants get leads and you can get to the 9th and you don't have to blow a bunch of saves, that could be the difference of 4 or 5 wins, right? Hey, think about 4 blown saves That's a swing of like 8 games, right? Let's say you blow 4 saves and you go 81 and 81, but those 4 blown saves, because you're having an effective season, now are 4 saves. Now you're 85 and 77. So instead of being a 500 club, you're 8 games over. And 85 could be enough to get you in to the playoffs. It would have been last year. Mr. Cat Karen says, does Marty live close to me? Marty lives on the other side of the valley, so he's closer to where the Giants are, their spring training, but he's still a ways away from them as well. Yeah. I think he's probably 20 to 30 minutes from the Giants stadium. So, yeah, we're talking a little baseball here tonight, Cole. I figured that, let's talk a little baseball. Football's over. Football's over, and bury the football season, right? I mean, that was like, I don't know, unless you had some money on it, on the game, and we're watching it, it was like the I don't care bowl, right? I mean, to me, well played defensive. I mean, that was a defensive clinic that Seattle did, but my gosh, just watching punt after punt after punt, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. It was getting old. Dan, did I read the article that the Giants Alex Cobb deal is looking good for Giants? I did not hear anything about that. Is he looking to come back to the Giants? Let me know. Let's see. I saw a comment in here by Robert. Dan, will you please predict the Giants to make the playoffs? I just turned 75. All right, Robert. Well, I'm going to wait and I'll do my final predictions, Robert, a couple days before the season starts. All right. Right now, I've got them just on the outside looking in. Okay. I've got them probably finishing 7th, 8th, 9th in that range. But welcome Dallas back. They could surprise. I want to see if there's any more changes in the spring. So, let's see. You're going for the first week. Okay, Cole. I'll probably be down there. Yeah, I'll definitely be at the Seattle game, the first game on the 21st, which is, like I say, just right where I do my shopping next to Costco. Yeah. Back last year, I went to a couple games there. What did I do? I went early. Day game started at 1. Drove into Costco, which is literally 3 minutes from the stadium. Grabbed me a hot dog and a Diet Pepsi. Loaded up my dog with mustard, ketchup. I know a lot of people don't like ketchup on their dog. I do. Relish and onion. That's my dog. That's my go-to. Now,
that's a great dog. That's what I do too.
Now, give me the Gouldens mustard instead of the yellow mustard, and it'll even be better. But they don't offer that, the spicy brown.
I like the yellow. It works.
I like the yellow too. I'm not against the yellow, but I love the spicy brown. But tell me, so that's how you load up your Costco dog too, just like I described?
Yeah, they don't have onions here though, where I'm at.
I guess they did take him away.
They got rid of it.
They did get rid of him. Shoot. Well, I guess next time I'll bring my own onions from another location. Just go in and say, hey, can you give me before I go to Costco? I mean,
bring them in. There you go.
Why did they? The onions, they had the crank, right?
Yeah, it was perfect. Why did you get rid of that?
I know what's going on, Costco. I'd
rather
have
the picture on the board. It still has the onions, and so I see those, and I'm like, oh boy, that looks good. And then no onions.
You know what? I'd rather have them go up to $1.75 and have the onions and pay $1.50 with no onions. But that's me.
Yep, I agree.
Come on, bring back the onions, Costco. You have to ask at the register, Mark says. Oh, I think you do. I think they give you, do they give you a little cup or something now?
Is that right? Wow.
I mean, is that the best deal in America?
It is, absolutely.
Come on. I mean, it's been that way for how many years?
20? More than that.
I know. How do they, I've had some great ideas, I think, for Costco. And I said, the birthday cakes. I mean, come on, everybody orders a sheet cake, right? For Costco for your kid's birthday now and then. Somebody, come on, tell me you haven't ordered that big sheet cake, right? Well,
Yeah.
how about if you take that sheet cake bakery up to the you got sandwiches now. You got they had the roll. What do they call that? That cinnamon roll. They call it
Chicken bake.
churro. A churro.
Churro, yeah.
How about a slice of cake for $1? How many slices can you get out of that cake? I bet you 50.
Or the apple pie they have. Bring that up there.
Yeah. You can buy the cake for $15 to $20. I don't know what they are now. I haven't bought one for a while. But imagine if you doubled your profits by a slice of cake for $1. Who doesn't want a slice of cake for $1 when you kind of want a snack?
Yeah, that's true. I can see that. Put that in their suggestion box next time you're there. The other good deal at Costco is the rotisserie chicken, $5.
$4.99. Yeah, well, come on.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
Now, since we're talking Costco, do you guys wait for you see them? They got them over there when they're going to slap the stickers on there for the time they put it in there. And you see a couple are sitting in there that have been in there for an hour and a fresh one's coming. Do you wait?
Yeah, you wait for the new one.
Yeah, absolutely. Giving you all the tricks here on NorCal Sports Network when shopping at Costco. You can't beat it. Now, I don't know what it's like in the Bay Area anymore or Sacramento, but right here, we've got a Sam's 3 minutes away from the Costco, and you go into Sam's, and it's like you think you're at Old Candlestick Park. There's nobody in there. There's nobody in there.
I'm not a Sam's member, so I don't go in there.
Yeah. The double chunk, where are those at?
At the food court now. They're expensive.
Wait a minute. I haven't had one of those. I haven't been at hey, guys, I haven't been at the food court because I don't want to stand up and show you my gut, but I don't drink beer, but I've got what they call a little bit of a beer belly here. So I've been avoiding the line at the, I used to love the pizza for $2, 2 slices. But a few years ago, I discovered through process of like lots of stomach issues. Like, why am I having stomach issues? Digestion. Well, dairy. I'm allergic. Dairy doesn't do well for me. So I skipped that. Then I was like, well, the hot dog's still pretty good, but I haven't had one for a while. But it's based, to me, spring training it's time to crank out the hot dogs, and all throughout the summer. It's just baseball. What is it? What's the saying? Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Now, some people might say Ford instead of Chevy, but
that's a whole argument there. Yeah. But Costco, yeah, I get one. Usually I get one every time I go to Costco. I'll get a hot dog. Though if the line isn't long. If I look over and the line is long, then I just head for the door.
Hey,
but
do you have those where you can just go to the screen and tap it and you pay already? Yeah. All right. That's all you do, man. And they get your number and it's your dog's ready.
You pay, but then you get in line, and when you get up to the front, you give them your thing, and then they get you your whatever you ordered.
Yeah,
is a system we have here. But yeah, I don't like dealing with people, so I'll get out of there if it's too many people.
Yeah, if you go now, I don't know what it's like in Sac, but where I live, I have 2 Costcos. I go either way. They're about the same distance. One's a little further away, but it's freeway, so I get there probably as quick as I do the other one. So I generally have been going to that one, which is in Surprise now. But the one over in Glendale, which is Glendale, Peoria, they border each other, which is right next to the Padres and the Mariners. There's a Costco there, but that is also right next to Sun City. Okay. So Sun City here in Arizona this time of year during the spring, they're called snowbirds, and we have them from Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Washington, Oregon. They all come. They're like birds. They migrate, and you go to a Costco at noon, and no one's in there shopping. They're all in the food court for their $1.50 hot dog, and this is just how the seniors are. And
oh yeah, we don't have that issue here. It's pretty busy all day long, but it goes up and down. The morning Costco's pretty empty. In the afternoon, it's not too bad. And then, 4 or 5 o'clock, it's the busiest time. And then right before closing, it clears out and it's not too bad. But that's our Elk Grove Costco. That's the one I go to. It's
okay.
5 minutes from my house. But there's a South Sacramento Costco, which is a little bit farther. And then if I go south of where I am, Lodi has a Costco, and there's no one there. It's a nice
Lodi.
Costco, but it's just empty. And so if you don't want to deal with the crowds, or it's Christmas time, holiday time, go to Lodi because you can get in and out no problem.
There you go, Lodi.
So we got
nice.
3 Costcos around here.
Nice. Yeah, Costco's just killing it. Now I just realized why they make it kept it at $1.50. It's a lost leader. It brings everybody in.
That's it. Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure they're not losing much money on that. I mean, the Coke costs you, the soda's about 10 cents. At least it used to be. Maybe it's 20 now.
Probably 20 now.
Yeah, the dog's probably $1 at the most for this mass quantity. So they're not probably losing.
They're probably breaking even on it. And then, but then no one buys just the hot dog. You get pizza also, or you get the ice cream thing, or you can get the chicken bake, and then you start racking it up. But also, once you get in the door of Costco, the seniors might go to just the food court, but normal people go do some shopping while they're there, and then you can't get out of there without spending $300. So
I've been to the Vacaville one before. Yeah, I know where that is.
Yep, me too.
Do I need a membership to buy food outside Costco? Like when you go to the food court, I think you can get away without the membership.
You can, yeah. I think technically by law they have to allow you to eat at the food court without a membership. Yeah, so you can just go. You go in the exit like you're going to customer service, and then just walk up to the food court.
Exactly. We'll go up to the food court, and you don't have to.
They don't ask to see a card or anything.
Nope. Yep. So you can go there. Yes, you can eat at Costco. You think about it. If you got a family of 5, 3 kids, a couple of you, and things are a little tight, right? You can eat for $7.50. you can at least stay, above the, at least you're getting something in you for.
You're not going to starve to death. That's for sure.
Right. $7.50 for a family of 5. Where can you do that? Well, you can go to the Giants game and you can get in for $5 now. I don't know if how many deals, speaking of the Giants, how many $5 tickets do they have? I heard they had a sale that you could buy $5 tickets before. They did it last year. What's the deal with a team selling tickets for $5 in 2026?
I think you get them in the door, and they're gonna buy a $10 hot dog and a $22 beer, and they're gonna spend money anyway. The kids are gonna want something. They're gonna be up there in the upper deck. It's gonna be freezing cold. Let's go. We got to buy a sweatshirt. So you end up even though you're getting in for $5, you're probably spending $200 anyway.
It's not a bad marketing idea in some ways, because if you don't sell those tickets for $5, they're probably not selling the ticket. So those people probably aren't going. Family of 4, they can get in for $20, and like you said, they're going to spend another 100 or 200 on food.
Right. So
And
that's the reason. But also, do you get them out there? Maybe you get them hooked on going to the Giants. They come, they have a fun time, they want to come back. And so maybe it's getting them in the door. You know, you might get some repeat customers. And the next time they're like, well, maybe next time we can sit down there with, you know, in the good seats. So there might be a spreading the word about baseball type of thing also.
yeah,
But
parking,
it doesn't cost the Giants anything to have somebody in their stadium watching the game. You know, you're paying the ushers and you're paying the cleanup people anyway. So I think, you know, get them in the door at whatever cost. And then if they don't come, if it's an empty seat, you're making $0.
Yeah. You know, hey, by the way, since we're talking parking in San Francisco, I want to commend, I think they did a good job on the Super Bowl with the city of San Francisco getting highlighted. Lots of pretty good, uh, publicity there. Looks like they cleaned things up. I will tell you,
A lot of praise, a lot of high praise.
I will tell you, there was a video I watched today. I don't know why I watched it, but let me see if I can. It was David Lombardi. He put it out, and he was just driving around the city with his wife, and he was showing the whole city, and he was showing, where Full House, and he showed those houses, the TV show Full House, and he showed a bunch of other things. Now, I haven't been in the city for a long time, like the city. Now, my wife and I, we went to, Pier 39, and we did some shopping in that area. And when we had our season tickets, we'd go down there before we went, the game, and catch the night game, whatever. We'd do that, but I haven't been into the city itself, all the neighborhoods that are available, for a long time. It's since I was my aunt lived in the city, and my uncle, I used to go stay with them on Hyde Street, which is really close to Lombard Street. And I remember that area well, but lots of parts of the city it's just, you don't get to hear about it or see it unless you take a drive through it. But so I happened to see this video on David Lombardi today and was like, oh, this is, he was talking and he was narrating, and his wife was filming, and he was talking about the Niners and getting Max Crosby and all that stuff. But I thought what was interesting, what kept me, because I really wasn't caring about the football. I just wanted to see the tour of the city. So I thought that was pretty cool. But we'll see. We'll see what they do with the city. Are they going to go back to letting the homeless take over now that everybody's going to leave? Are they going, it's kind of interesting.
I think they've been making strides. I don't think it's as bad now as it was.
I think Lurie's been doing a pretty good job of cleaning it up, from what I understand.
Yeah. And, and because they're getting all this publicity, good press, and Pat McAfee saying, wow, I can't believe how nice this is. And all, everybody talking up San Francisco, that's just reinforcing what they're doing. So they need to do that, because you don't want to have your city have a bad reputation, and then free agents don't want to come here. And, it's just not good for the Giants in general. So not to mention all the people that live there.
Are we a destination yet? I don't think the Super Bowl hurt the Giants in any way, and probably the Niners. I mean, it could help. I mean, and today was a gorgeous day to play football. Yeah. I mean, it was just beautiful, blue sky, and
it's funny on the broadcast on NBC, the way they present it. It's like the stadium is right next to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
All the shots are San Francisco and Coit Tower and all, the Fisherman's Wharf, and all this stuff is, they should have all these shots of San Francisco. And then now you see the stadium, but it's, 50 miles away.
What is it? How far is it now from from? I'll have to Google that. How far is? I think it's about. Isn't it about 30 miles?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would imagine. But it's well, driving it's 42 miles, so I don't know how far it is as the crow flies.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's. I wish they would build a new stadium back in, but there'd be so much red tape to go through if you built back where they played at Candlestick because of all the environmental stuff and the stuff in the earth.
There's a reason why they moved in the first place, because it's just too hard.
Yeah. They did get lucky. It is supposed to rain Tuesday. I did see that. I was looking at the forecast. Aaron says Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Well, maybe if they kept the cloud seeding away, right, Aaron? I don't. 49 miles. Oh, that's a joke. Okay, 49. Got it. Cow Palace area. I don't know if there's enough land over there at Cow Palace. I heard there's a lot of land like down there by Brisbane, which would still be a little closer, right? Brisbane would be just past the airport, kind of.
Maybe down by the airport.
But, Keysar, I don't know if there's enough room over there. But it's too bad Alcatraz is not a lot bigger. They need another 100 acres. They don't have enough. That would be.
Well, they could add on to it. They could, build build a bigger island.
That would be super cool. And you take all these boats and then just build a underwater BART to it, and just have all this transportation going out to Alcatraz. Just ferries and.
Yeah, imagine getting out of there.
Yeah. They'd have to it'd be crazy. But if you had
people would be in canoes and getting eaten by sharks and stuff.
Yeah. It's just like, hey, we're out here at Alcatraz football stadium out there. But yeah. So what do you think, Dallas? The season starts. There's still a bunch of unsigned players. In fact, I'm going to pull that up for us here if I can locate it. Let me see if I can.
They need a left-handed pitcher. I think they need a left-handed starter. I don't know. And I looked at who's available, like who has a contract that's within 1 to 3 years and is playing on a crappy team. And there was very, very few that I could find that would even be possible to trade for.
Well, let's take a look at who's out there that has not been signed yet with starting pitchers. There we go.
Okay.
These are the starting pitchers that are available. Jordan Montgomery, his market value is only about $2.5 million. He's a lefty. Chris Bassett is still out there.
Jordan Montgomery was awful last year, right?
Well, he's been awful for a couple of years now.
Well, since he signed that contract.
Yeah, maybe a 1-year flyer on him for $2-3 million, and what the heck? He sucks. Cut him. Cobb's still out there. Scherzer's still out there. Verlander's still out there. Zach Gallen's still out there. Sagano is still out there. Tyler Anderson, there's a lefty, still out there. Patrick Corbin, a lefty, still out there. My goodness. Savali, Wade Miley, another lefty. Of course, he's about 50 years old. Well, he's only 39. Nestor Cortez, 31 years old. Now, look at that market value for him. They're saying $12 million. He's not going to get that. Sorry, Nestor, you're not signed. I don't think you're getting $12 million. Zach Littell is still out there. Michael Kopech for a reliever still out there. Griffin Canning is a starter still out there. I think the Giants should take a flyer on a couple of guys that are, and just throw them out there and see if they can fight for it. And, look, I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
they're not going to spend several $1 million on a flyer. They're going to put him in the rotation if they sign somebody.
well, there's no. Yeah, I don't think there's any room for the rotation, but backup, for depth. Let's take it. Let's take a look at relievers.
Because any of these guys, if the Giants try to sign them, they're going to be like, okay, well, who's going to the bench? Who's going to the bullpen?
Yeah.
That's what makes it tough.
Oh, I heard Lou Trevino signed the other day. So I think I saw that. Joey Lucchese's still out there.
Yeah.
He didn't do too bad last year for the Giants.
Nope. But they have a lot of lefty relievers that are about the same as Lucchese.
Yeah, Anthony DeScalfani's out there. Jeez. All right, so let's take a look at how about outfielders? Who's out there in the outfield? Mark Conforto's jobless. Wow.
Didn't he
Henry-
sign?
Huh?
Oh, no, someone was looking at him.
Yeah. The Fonz is still out there. Jesse Winker is still out there. Grichuk. Now, that guy can hit lefties. He's a guy that the Giants might want to consider. Our buddy old Austin Slate. Look at Dom Smith still out there. Chris Taylor. Wow, is he ever?
Outfielders, wouldn't play though. I mean,
Yeah.
unless they're going to trade somebody.
Yeah. They don't really. Yeah. It's
But
not really.
and then Dom Smith, I mean, that guy, they have too many left-handed first basemen.
Right. Hey, speaking of first base, we don't have a first baseman, do we? We need more. Look at Wilmer's still out there. Wow. Look at all the people unsigned.
Who would you take, Wilmer or Dom Smith?
Dom Smith. Dom Smith at this point. But look at these guys that are just unsigned. Let's see the second baseman. Is there any second baseman that's worth anything? Not really. Not really. Wow. But these guys are going to have to start signing in the next week, at least minor league deals, right?
They might be going to play in Japan.
Rengifo still out there? Wow. Huh. Tim Anderson. Wow, that guy was a batting champ just a few years ago. He's just fallen off the. So, third base. Giants don't need it, but I'm just curious what's out. Oh, same guys basically. So, there's just a lot. There's about 100 plus players that are still unsigned. Well, I guess we could have just went infielders. That would have been the smart move. I didn't see that. We could have just went infield. So, bunch of players still available, not signed, and I've got to believe that some of these guys, Brandon Belt. This is what happened to Brandon Belt after he had a pretty decent season with Toronto a few years ago. Then he didn't get it signed. Yeah. And
some guys I have to assume that it's there at the end of free agency, and once all the ones that are highly sought after are taken up, then they're like, okay, Justin Verlander, let's give you a deal. So I think once you've exhausted all the possibilities, then these guys should start getting picked up and just to fill in holes that they have.
Yeah.
And, last minute additions. But with spring training starting this week, next week, right? We're going to have to get him in camp and get him going. Because you know what happens when you get a slow start. You get behind.
Mr. Cat Karen says the list sucks. Yeah, it did. It's not too good.
Mr. Cat Karen, did you guys hear what happened to Yasiel Puig? I did.
What happened to Yasiel Puig?
He's gotten caught up in gambling, some sort of gambling charge, and he could go to prison for 15 years.
Oh my! Yeah, interesting. I wonder if his name was Shohei, he'd probably be okay.
Yeah. I think so.
Mr. Catcare says we ain't winning Jackass. Let's be honest, Dan. Well, I never said they're winning anything. I just said they're going to be. I've got them right now, just on the outside looking in. I think there's. We
It's
zoom
gonna be
in.
interesting to see because
Zoom.
obviously they like the pitching more than we do. So maybe they know something we don't, or they're more optimistic than we are. But we'll see. Getting into spring, getting into the start of the season, and just that doesn't mean that you can't make moves during the season. I mean, they can figure out what their needs are and fill some holes if they have to.
Yeah. So, anyway, what'd you guys think of? Did you guys see the Roger Craig out there on the field today getting Hall of Fame recognition? That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Did you see all the MVPs coming out of that trailer they had?
Yeah, that was kind
Peyton
of an
Manning and Tom Brady and Joe and Steve and
Eli
Jerry.
Manning. They did Eli Manning and then Peyton Manning right after him.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. There was a lot of big time stars coming out of that trailer.
All the living ones, or was there some that were still living that didn't get announced?
There must be some that weren't there. I can't think of one offhand, but they sure had a lot of them.
I said, "Where's Roger Craig?" I thought he was going to come out. Then I remembered he didn't win that year. They won the Super Bowl in '84 against Miami, even though he scored 3 touchdowns. Joe got it.
Right. Yeah.
And I was thinking, 3 touchdowns and you don't get the MVP? I know Joe played great, but man. Like, who did get the MVP tonight? Was it Walker, or did they give it to somebody on defense?
I don't know. I
never heard. Does anybody know who won the MVP? I would have given it to Walker. Walker?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's who got it.
All right, yeah. I mean, I thought he had it, and then they got that run that got called back. I mean, shoot. My parlay, I don't think I won my my prize picks, guys. Let me look at my prize picks pick.
First running back in the 21st century. There hasn't been a running back that's won it in the last 26 years.
Oh, that's cool. I still have my money in. No, I don't. I lost that. Okay. We'll have to do some prize picks on here. In fact, it might be time to talk about prize picks as our sponsor. We want to thank our sponsor, Prize Picks, and let me put up the promo code there, NCSN. You guys, Prize Picks is a lot of fun. I didn't win today, but you can use that promo code NCSN or go to the link in the chat and just click on that link and it'll take you right to our promo code. And Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you build lineups by choosing whether players will have more or less than a projected stat total. Right now, new users can get $50 in lineups when they play their first $5 lineup, win or lose. That's right. You only got to play $5 and you get 50 added. Prize Picks now is available in 45 states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today. Build your lineup and follow along while watching the games. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. And just use that promo code right there, NCSN, and you'll get $50. A lot of fun. I didn't win today. Let me pull up my picks and let's take a look how I did. My entries, where did it go? Okay, passed. All right, today I had Drake May with an anytime touchdown, or not an anytime, but a more than a half of a TD. I thought he would throw for a run, pass, or throw. I had Drake May getting more than a half a yard passing. That was their promo. I took, I think he made that, right? He did throw for a yard today, right? Cooper Kupp I had him over 1.5 receptions. He ended up with 6. Jackson Smith Najigba, I had him getting a touchdown rush, or did not get that. Kenneth Walker, I had getting a touchdown, and I did not get that. So I got 3 of the 5, and that's what it looks like. It was $10 to win 52. I got 3 of them. You could play that too. We'll do some breakdowns on here. You want a free fantasy league? I'm not going to do a free fantasy league. I'm sorry, but you can get into a $30 one over there on. There's another channel that's offering a $30 one. That's close.
Eric and Glenn on NorCal Sports Network. They're doing 30.
Yeah,
so
that's
not too bad.
Not too bad. That's close to free. And you're playing that league, you got a good shot. You might be able to win it. So go over there. I will not be in that league. Let's see. Giants will sign Scherzer and say they are signing a future Hall of Famer who will help a young arms on the roster. Haven't heard that before. Yeah. Yeah, if we did a free league, I would have to. I suppose we could possibly do one if someone wanted to manage it. I wouldn't have anything to do with it because I'm going to be playing in 2 other leagues, maybe 3.
Yeah. You want to get a little skin in the game. You want people caring. If it's free, they may not put in the effort because who cares?
Yeah.
So I think it makes it a little bit better if there is a cost to it because I think people take it more seriously.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Cat Karen. I appreciate that. I see your comment there. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, that's about it.
Rage quit. Dang it. I'm out of here.
Where's that? Oh, too many rage quits. Yeah, when it's free, yeah. So, hey, guys, if you do want to get into the fantasy league, go ahead and email me over at NorCal Sports Network. We've got a $100 league. That one's filling up. The $200 league, they're about half full, both of them. So we've got room for about maybe 10 to 12 more guys that'll finish up the league. So we need to get those in there as quickly as possible because we want to get all the information out. And we will run a fun league, but it will be done by Yahoo. There will be no king commissioner in this league. Okay. We will not have a rogue commissioner and having make up your own rules and go against what is the standard for fantasy baseball, which is Yahoo, ESPN, CBS. They all run them the same way. And we're not going to have any rogue commissioner tell you how to play the game. So,
all right, no sour grapes, Dan.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just doing it the way it's played throughout across the country. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's tough, but you can set your lineup, and if you don't get to it every day, you still will be okay in some case, in most cases. So
it's beneficial to check it, but if you miss a day, it's probably not going to kill you.
Yeah. All right. Should we get out of here?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. All right, guys. Football's over. Baseball's here. We'll be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night will be a fun show. There'll be 4 of us in the room, so Dallas won't be with us because it's just hard to fit 5 and get everybody a chance to have input.
I'm going to be in the chat talking shit.
Chat.
So
yeah, there we go.
I'll be in there.
We'll have Los D, myself, Los D, an OG of the show, and we will have Polly Mac over from Polymac Particles formerly part of Murph and Mac show on KMBR for, 18 years or whatever it was. So Paulie Mac and his producer from KMBR, Tony, who they do a great show over at Paulie Mac Particles, they will join us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And then we're working on shows for Tuesday and Thursday. I've got to book Jeff Young. Hopefully I get him on one of those nights. And then when baseball games start in spring training in just a couple weeks, then we'll get Bobby Evans, former general manager of the Giants, on here to talk what the Giants are doing. He's an advisor to Buster Posey. So
I got to run, Dan. I'll see everybody next time.
Yeah, we are out of here. See you, Dallas. Take care. Ned Coletti, we'll get Ned Coletti back on here as well during the spring. So, guys, we appreciate you being part of the show, and catch us tomorrow night. Tomorrow night will be fun. We've got Paulie Mac and Tony from Paulie Mac Particles. So come join the show tomorrow night. All right, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Let's find the band. Where did it go? Oh, it moved on me. Here we go. All right, don't forget to check out Prize Picks. Go download that app, put in the promo code NCSN again. And also, guys, we want to thank our other sponsor of the show, and that is Chapman Law Group. Hey, guys, you need an attorney? Give David Chapman and his group a call, especially if you've got a personal injury situation. Chapman Law Group, they can help you out. The call's free. The consultation is free. Chapman Law Group. Great attorneys over there, personal injury, auto accident, work accident, any kind of thing that comes up, give Chapman Law Group a call. Don't settle with that insurance company before contacting David Chapman and his group at 415-613-9483. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. Tomorrow night we'll be on at 8 Pacific, Mark Graves, 8 o'clock Pacific. Tomorrow, NorCal Sports Network, Los D, Paulie Mac, and Tony. We will be here 8 o'clock California time. All right, everybody. Yeah, we need a food sponsor for Costco. That's right. We talked a lot of Costco tonight. Maybe we should get Costco on here. I don't think they need us. So, guys, appreciate. We'll have some spring training post games after some of the ball games come up. We'll do some of those, guys, as well during the spring training. So keep it right here, NorCal Sports Network, the place to be for all your Giants talk. And make sure you guys go out and have a good week. Appreciate you guys being here. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.